Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Whoa, it's getting windy. I'm driving across the United States right now. I'm going across the great state of North Dakota. And I have to mention, because I used to live in North Dakota for about 2 years. I'm so proud of North Dakota because of our sunsets especially. I think that we have one of the best sunsets because as it goes down, that silo is in the way right now, unfortunately. But what I love most, and if these clouds weren't in the way, is the huge, beautiful patina of colors that we have. And I had to pull over because I also saw they're hiding back here behind this hill now. I came too far, but way out there's some cows, and I thought it'd be a good precursor for an unplanned stop. I didn't really plan on making this one stop, but there's so many cars. They're so loud. I'm so sorry, but I wanted to make an unplanned stop to show you the world's largest cow. I guess it's something we're kind of proud of, but I figured some of my Indian subscribers might enjoy it because they so fondly love their cows. But also, while I'm stopped off on the side of the interstate, I want to show you some things. Usually, the kindness, you see how this truck is moving over? The Minnesota and North Dakota kindness is that vehicles will move over to the outside lane so that they don't get too close to you. That's what I really enjoy. Every single person right there did it, and some of them even waved too. I think it's really kind. But one thing that's really interesting about our United States interstate system, right now I'm on I-94, and of course these interstates, there's so many of them that go all around the US. These were built, most of them were built back in the 50s or so. I think it was during Dwight Eisenhower that was president. But Dwight Eisenhower, back in the 50s or so, I think, he was a general. And so when he was designing all these projects to build these new interstates, he was also thinking at it from an army and kind of like a general mindset. And one of these things that he thought should include is that as this entire interstate goes, one of his rules is that every 5 miles there needs to be at least a straight strip for at least 1 mile. And so you can usually see it as you're driving along here. There's a nice open strip, and that's for landing aircraft in the state of emergency or in a state of wartime. So let's get back in the car, and then we'll head over to go see Sioux, the big cow.
Likely the light of mine will burn out in the mountains where I spend my rambling years. I paid my sins from the poor traveling days. Oh Lord, please, can't you hear my prayers? So I rode my body up the mountain to a place where I can sit my rocking chair. I rode my body up the mountain, and I'm never going back again, I swear.
Okay, so we've reached New Salem, Sioux. She's called New Salem, Sioux because it's the city of New Salem right here. Actually, right over there. So then they built it back in like the 70s, I think. So then it's Sioux. There's a reason behind that name, and I'll tell you in just a sec. But before we talk about Sioux, I'll show you the view. So this is probably one of the highest parts in this entire area. You can see all the windmills and everything out in the distance. They're blinking lights. But then just super flat, and then just out of nowhere, then there's this huge hill that comes up, and so this is where, of course, then they put Sioux. On the side of this hill has in huge letters New Salem, just to tell you you're in New Salem. I swear to God, this thing is like, you can see it from anywhere. You're driving down the interstate here, and you can see it from like 10 miles from either way because it's super flat. But so New Salem Sioux, she's kind of an interesting. She's got a cute little story. New Salem Sioux. So as you can see, she's actually pretty big. She's I think 38 feet high and about 50 feet long. So it's like what, 12 meters and like 15 meters or something. But I think it actually holds the record as being the largest animal in at least in North Dakota. If I keep going down the interstate that way, we'll get to another town called Jamestown in about 2 hours, and they're really proud of their American buffalo. And so out there they have a huge buffalo like this, but I think this one's a little bit bigger, so I think it's the largest animal. But the story behind it, I think it's also strapped down because North Dakota is just super windy, so I wouldn't be surprised if she just blows away. It's the udders that scare me about her. She gets just these huge udders. Anyway, so New Salem Sioux, she was constructed back in 1974 or so, but there's like a local legend behind this area, and I wanted to show you this whole surrounding area because it helps bring the story to life. So as you can see, it's super flat land, and of course you'd expect that it's really good for farming, and that's what the early settlers thought. So this area, of course, used to be Native American land. It was Sioux land. It's called the Sioux Tribe, S-I-O-U-X. And then of course Sioux is named S-U-E, so it sounds the exact same. But so Sioux was, so the way that the story goes is when the first settlers came here back in like 1883, you can see how it's just super flat. They came here and they started plowing the land because they wanted to make it into farmland. And so when they started plowing it, then they took a huge chunk of sod, the dirt like this, and they cut it up and placed it upside down. And so there were some local Sioux, the actual like Native American tribes. Two of these Sioux came by to come look and inspect what this guy's doing. And so then the older Sioux guy, then he sees that they turned a chunk of sod upside down, and he just says, wrong side up, or like wrong side or whatever. So he flips it back over, and the younger Sioux then basically like explains to him that or like the meaning of this is that the ground isn't so good for farming, but more so for grazing. And so instead of actually farming stuff, then they started bringing cows and everything, and that's what boosted the whole like the dairy history of this region. And so all of this farm fields, as I was driving here, it's all still farm fields. We got some kids here. I really like this. And but anyway, so that's where the story comes from. So then in the 70s they were building this. I think it was like $40,000 or something, but they got a whole bunch of like local ranchers to collect money. Everyone donated and everything, so then they could build her. But so she was constructed over in Wisconsin, 2 states over, and made her in 3 separate pieces, and then brought her like 1,000 miles all the way over to put her all together into one big piece. Hey guys. She's got just a huge mouth. I mean, just to put into comparison how big she is, like, just massive. But she's not the only large animal in North Dakota. So this entire highway that we're on, this is called the Enchanted Highway, and the Enchanted Highway, oh, look at the udders. The Enchanted Highway is special for big like art installments, because North Dakota unfortunately gets the reputation, it's like the exact center of North America, it unfortunately gets the reputation of people just always wanting to just drive right past it and just straight interstate the entire way. So North Dakota, we started building all kinds of big roadside attractions like this. Even the one in Jamestown, I think it's the second most important tourist thing in North Dakota. And anyway, so on this interstate in Jamestown, there's a huge buffalo. Of course, there's New Salem Sioux. In Botany, there's a huge turtle. We have a huge crane and steel about 2 hours that way. There's also a huge walleye. There's a huge, even in Wahpeton, I think there's actually the guy that built this also built something in Wahpeton. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, so large animals is our thing. It's such an odd roadside attraction thing. But I'm trying to come up to the very top of this hill. It's I'm so winded. But it's one of the, like I said, one of the highest spots in this whole region. This looks about as high as it gets. Gotta hold onto the cowboy hat so she doesn't blow away. And this is the tale of New Salem Sioux. I'm not sure what else there is to say about her. She's pretty straightforward. If you come to North Dakota, I guess you can come visit her. If you don't want to though, just take the video for granted because she's way out in the middle of nowhere. So unless you're driving out this way, I mean, if you're going out this way to like Mount Rushmore or stuff like that, then it's kind of in the way. So if you really like cows, come visit New Salem Sioux. But it's total farmland out here. It's actually quite nice. I go down into this village, this little city, then you go to like a diner, and we of course we eat a lot of cow here. I'm sorry, the Indians. I just made the Indians so happy by making a video about cows, but now I lost all them when I told them that we eat the cows. But actually in North Dakota we have more cows than people, and that's the same for some of the states around here as well, Montana and everything. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up right there. Why am I so tired? I didn't know that Sioux was so high up. But okay, I'm gonna head out. See you guys later. I forgot to mention one more thing, that up here, we, us locals, we like to donate. Salem Sioux is she's utterly grateful for all their support. But it's just an old vintage milk can. So let's see, it's a mini, and just, okay. It's all this money that we donate for the cow, it goes to getting like paint jobs and that kind of stuff done for her, because of course every cow needs a good paint job. But okay, I'm going. Oh, I'm so tired. Okay, good night, guys. Hey guys, just a quick little bonus clip for you. I'm back over by my hometown in Minnesota, and I'm in the little town of Erskine, Minnesota, which all the lakes here we have. This is Cameron Lake, I believe, but a lot of these tons of small lakes of all kinds. And remember how I was just talking about having this huge cow? I want to show you this. In the town of Erskine, they have the largest northerner. It's called a northern fish, but I don't know if it's just, honestly, I don't really know why we like building big animals, but it's the world's largest northern. If you want to come to Erskine, Minnesota, that's where you can find it. There's a whole bunch of these in all these small towns, these big versions of it. This lake, like I said, Cameron Lake, people, of course, there's a lot of people that live on the edge of the lake because they have pontoons and all kinds of boats. But these lakes, I don't think are very good for swimming. Not very good for fishing either in this lake per se. Some of the lakes over, there's better fishing, but these ones, it's kind of mucky and kind of gross. So they built their own pond here, a pond attached onto the lake that all the local kids come, all the kids are over there swimming. So the kids come over here and just swim in the pond instead. But welcome to small town Minnesota, where people drive around with, you know, flags on their car. And those are our nice little water towers, American flags. Small town Minnesota. Okay, see you guys later.
Likely the light of mine will burn out. The mountains where I spend my